Hello everyone and welcome back to another Fire Emblem Heroes guide. This video is going to be a bit more loose form and a bit less structured than my other ones because it's just an update to a video that I did back in the fall when the Brave Hero banner dropped, which is a review / guide on all 3 Lins in Fire Emblem Heroes. Now, since that video has dropped, a bunch of skills and sacred seals and whatnot have been added to the game that affect Lin and her performance in the metagame in both PvE and PvP. So I'm making this video as an update to that one. There will be a link to part 1, I guess, now that I'm making this one. Part 1 will be in the description, as well as there will be a card on the top of the screen. Now I want to say that if you're here because you want to have a good grasp on how Lin builds work, you're in the right place. However, I do not go over the default kits and stats of the units I'm talking about in this video, so if you're looking for that, you will want to hop over to part 1. With that out of the way, let's get started. Vanilla Lin has benefited the most from the new updates and new skills, as she has plenty of new toys to play around with that improve her performance even further. Let's start with the Soul Katti, one of the weapons that can be refined with Divine Dew. It grants HP plus 3 if you go with the Brash Assault Refine, and HP plus 5 if you go with any of the other Refine. If you go with any Refine, you will gain the effects of Desperation 3 instead of Desperation 2. And if you go with the stat refines, they will give you a variety of stats in all 4 of them, ranging from different levels depending on which stat you upgrade to. Now, I want to say that if you want to go with the stat upgrades, make sure you know what you're doing with your build, because it's very expensive to refine legendary weapons, and if you don't do the one that you really want, it might be pretty difficult to go back and fix that. Because even though you can do multiple refines, it is very expensive and incredibly time consuming. So, with the Brash Assault Refine, which in my opinion is the best refine, as it allows Lin to become almost a fire sweep weapon user. Now, the Brash Assault Soul Katti combo has been done before, and long since I made the original video. But thanks to the Weapon Refinery update, it is now built completely into her weapon, allowing Lin to do this combination without the need of her B slot or her Sacred Seal slot being taken up by Brash Assault. So, what it does is, like Brash Assault, it has the exact same effect, initiating a foe that can counter if the unit's HP is 75% or lower, and the unit makes a guaranteed double attack. Now the thing is, this has a much higher HP threshold than Brash Assault normally does, making this evidently much better than any other Brash Assault combo in the game, pushing Lin high into the tiers of player phase poking units in this regard. This generous HP threshold, combined with how well it can stack with other skills that have similar HP thresholds, means that this is a dangerous combo and makes Lin one of the best offensive sword users in the game. Despite not having the titanic stat spread that Soleil does, it's a great combo regardless, and stacks well with one of our first skills that we can talk about. Wrath 3 is a B-slot skill inheritable from Nephany. Thanks to Lin's weapon combo, we can now run it without the need of sacrificing Brash Assault. It has the same threshold at HP less than 75%, and what it does is it gains +1 special cooldown charge at the start of turn and adds +10 damage to any special. This essentially gives Lin a Wodao Quick Impulsed combo whenever she is within the threshold of activating it. Using this skill, Lin can activate Moonbow on every second hit of her attacks with Soul Katti when she's in the range of activating Wrath, making it much easier to score 1-round KOs and secure kills. In a similar vein to Wrath allowing Lin to abuse her special cooldown charge, we can also equip Flashing Blade 3, inheritable from a 5-star Mia. This skill is affected by Phantom Speed, and basically allows Lin to have a Heavy Blade effect only with her speed stat. Now, this is very useful as it allows Lin to easily abuse her innate special of Gale Force, one of the most expensive specials in the game, allowing her to score very high in terms of arena points. Now, however, there are a lot of drawbacks to this skill, being that it locks up your A slot from any attack or speed boosting skills, and it can also be not as great on Lin as she doesn't have the same titanic levels of speed that Mia or Ira, who typically run this skill, do in most scenarios. Regardless, I'll be showing off a build a little later that will be able to make use of this skill and hopefully bring out to its maximum potential in terms of Sword Lin using it. The last skill of note is Brazen Attack Speed 3, which allows the unit under 80% HP to gain +7 attack and speed during combat. This skill is insane on Sword Lyn, as it is a very similar threshold to her Brash Assault Soul Katti combo thanks to the Refine, and it also gives her a much higher boost than Life and Death or Swift Sparrow ever will, making it an excellent choice to stack with her combination and make her even more potent below 75% HP. It is inheritable only from Winter Robin at the moment, but I expect it will be added into the regular summoning pool at some point later down the line. It also stacks with Hone and Spur buffs, allowing Lyn to reach ridiculous levels attack and even abuse the Heavy Blade Sacred Seal if she is built correctly. There are also several Secret Seals that Lyn can make use of now with the new updates. Firstly is Brash Assault 3, added in one of the Tempests a while back. It is a good temporary alternative to Soul Katti, but it might not be something you want to spend your sacred coins on if you are going for the Divine Dew Refine, as you will only get to use it for a little while. But if you want Brash Assault 3 on other units, by all means go ahead and upgrade it. As for Heavy Blade 3, it is great and it allows Lyn to abuse Gale Force and Ether to get higher arena points and actually get mileage out of those same specials. The only caveat is that Lyn has very subpar base attack, so you're going to need a lot of heavy skill investments and maybe some high merges to really make the most out of it. And finally is Close Defense 3, which can be used in a really unique way in a build I will showcase in a minute here, as also cancelling out Life and Death 3 penalties if you really want to do that. With all of these skills in mind, Lyn has some new optimized kits that can help her shine in a lot more ways, starting with her Flashing Blade set. For the Soul Katti, you're going to want to go with the Speed Refine or the Brash Assault Refine, and to this it comes down to what you want to do. If you go with the Speed Refine, you're going to have to run with Speed plus 3, as it will allow you to double most units that you come across. Whereas if you go with the Brash Assault Refine, you won't need your speed to double opponents, and thus you can run Phantom Speed for a much larger boost. For the Skillsets, you want to go with Ardent Sacrifice. This will allow you to get into the range of Desperation 3 on the Soul Katti, as well as Wrath 3, which is your B-slot skill. For the C-slot skill, you're going to want to go with Threaten Speed 3 or Speed Ploy 3. Speed Ploy 3 only if your Lyn is plus resistance, as otherwise you might not be able to proc it as much as you want to. Thus, this way you can just debuff your enemy's speed and proc Flashing Blade more often. For the Sacred Seal, as I already mentioned, you want to go with Speed plus 3 if your Soul Katti is Speed Refined, or Phantom Speed if you go with the Brash Assault Refine. Overall, this set is designed to abuse powerful specials like Gale Force or Ether, or just do a lot of damage very quickly with skills like Luna or Moonbow. This, however, comes with the caveat of meaning that your Lyn needs to be plus speed or highly merged. It is both expensive SP and fodder-wise, and it locks your A slot from a lot of damage potential skills like Brazen Attack Speed 3 or Life and Death 3. Another updated set Lyn can wield that is a bit weird and funky and relies heavily on refinement is her enemy phase setup. You're going to want to go with either Defense Refine or Attack Refine on the Soul Katti, since you're going to be playing in the enemy phase. You want to go with Swap or Reposition as your skills so that you can get your other units out of the way and allow Lyn to take hits. For the special, you're going to want to go with Iceberg, and for the A slot, you want to go with Fury 3. This will allow Lyn to boost all of her stats, which she needs, all of them. For Vantage 3 is your B slot, and Threaten Attack 3 or Attack Ploy 3 is your C slot. For the Close Defense is your Sacred Seal, and the idea behind this entire set is to allow Lyn to tank as much as possible in melee range. This gives you a minimum 40, 35, 35, plus 0 merged, unboosted defensive spread during combat, and allows if your Lyn is plus res or plus defense to shine in a new way that you might have never thought of. It is very low investment if you don't go with Attack Ploy, and can make a great use of a bad IV Lyn. The problems, however, is that this skill set is very niche, and is outclassed by other defensive sword units like Joshua, the Black Knight, or Zelgius. The final set I have to offer is an Arena Optimized set that in my opinion is the best set any sword Lyn can run. Firstly, you're going to want to go with the Soul Katti and the Brash Assault Refine. For your assist skill, you're going to want a Dual Rally or Reciprocal Aid. Reciprocal Aid because it allows you to get into the Desperation Brash Assault range a lot better than Ardent Sacrifice can, because you're going to have a lot of HP, as I recommend a high level of merge if you're going to run this set. For the special, you want Gale Force or Luna. Gale Force is preferred if you're going for arena points, as it is the most expensive special in the game. For her A-slot skill, you want Brazen attack speed 3 as it gives her the most boost, and Wrath 3 so that she can proc her special a lot more. Finally, Threaten Attack 3 or Threaten Defense 3 is going to be your C-slot skill, and this is just so that she can secure kills or take hits a lot better, so that she doesn't get knocked out while going into her Brash Assault range. Finally, for her Sacred Seal, you're going to want to go with Heavy Blade 3, although if your Lin is a little lacking in the attack department, i.e. it's not plus attack like mine is, you may want to go with Quicken Pulse instead. It's up to you. Like I said, there is a high merged recommended for this set, but it is a very rewarding arena set that I hope to build myself at some point. I honestly feel kinda bad for calling her a trophy wife and saying she was a little bit of the trash unit in my last video, because Brazen has become an excellent force to be reckoned with. Firstly, her weapon, Candlelight Plus. Essentially, if the unit makes an attack during combat, foe and any enemies in the same range as Savage Blow, etc. will be unable to counterattack through their next actions. This is incredibly impotent in Arena and Tempest Trials, as it shuts down distant counter units and allows your units to score some really funky kills that they may not have been able to otherwise. By combining the Wrathful Staff Refinement with her default Dazzling Staff, Lin can become essentially a magic fire sweep bow user, which is absolutely ridiculous. This has been nicknamed the Razzle Dazzle combo by the FE Heroes community. Now, however, I would like to mention that Candlelight status is not quite as potent as the Gravity status or the Pain Plus EOE. However, Candlelight Plus does have higher might than these two, so it's essentially up to you what you want to run. Brazen also gets some new skills to make use of, being Attack Respawn 3, which allows her to get essentially the Owl Tome effect, but with +5 attack and +5 resistance. This is probably the best A-slot for any staff unit, as it allows them to poke and get attacked in enemy phase with little to no fear from mages. And finally, Recover Plus, which is the best healing special in the game. I recommend you use it over Rehabilitate Plus, as Rehabilitate Plus isn't much different than regular Rehabilitate, and Recover Plus is just far more consistent. So, in order to remedy my admittedly poor setup from my first video, I present to you a new setup for Brazen that is actually quite potent and honestly hilariously fun to use. With Candlelight Plus and a Wrathful Staff Refine, she can poke units without any fear. With Recover Plus or Rehabilitate Plus, she can heal your units. Rehabilitate Plus, while still very useful, is slightly inferior to Recover Plus. However, she does have Rehabilitate Plus by default, so you might be more inclined to use it. Her special is Heavenly Light, as it allows her to do some AoE healing whenever she needs to, and keeps your units in their healthy range. And finally, with Attack Respawn 3 in her A slot, she can reach a very high, or at least a very respectable attack level, and get a good boost to her res so that she can bait mages pretty easily. Dazzling Staff 3 is her B slot, combined with the Wrathful Staff Refine, allows her to poke units, yada yada yada. For her C slot, Hone Attack 3 or Hone Defense 3 is still a great option, as it provides more support, although you can also go with Savage Blow if you really feel like doing that. Finally, for her Sacred Seal, you want to go with Speed or Attack +3. Pick your poison, either is very potent. I personally prefer Speed +3, as she gets doubled less often and can double slower units a lot more. Sadly, Brazen does not get much in the way of love in these recent updates. She can make great use of the Heavy Blade Sacred Seal, but it doesn't really do much to shake up the way that you would build her otherwise, so a lot of the information from my first video is still very much relevant to her, even now. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a much clearer idea of how you may want to build your vanilla or Brazen now that they have gotten a lot more new toys to play with. My name is ZerkMonsterHunter 4, and no matter what Lin you use in Heroes, as always, happy hunting!